Pretty Little Liars is quite the mystery.
It's very, very addicting and very intense to watch.
It's juicy, it's pretty, and it's suspenseful.
And I think there's a lot of heart to it.
It, involves drama, mystery, and very intense relationships.
And you can't wait to see what happens next.
I can see why it could be addictive, because once you're in Rosewood, it's hard to get out.
Pretty Little Liars initially was an idea that we dreamed up with Sarah Shepard, the novelist of the books, and the question was, what's a teen Desperate Housewives?
The book series began in 2005, and I didn't really have any idea that it was going to become a TV series. So when it did become a TV series, I was so thrilled and surprised, and it was just like this huge treat.
Well, first of all, I was shocked by how provocative it was, because I went to watch the pilot and I thought, you've got a girl who's having an affair with her teacher, you've got a girl who's getting high after school in her bedroom, and you have one girl stealing sunglasses, and I thought, this is interesting, but not something that's beyond the scope of most teenagers. They're not shocked by this. I felt the show was saying something about what it means to be a teenager in 2010.
The thing that I love about the show is that the characters are so well fleshed out that you actually are invested in them.
Yeah, all the characters are extremely relatable, and I think that's kind of what drew in so many different people to want to watch.
So we've got strong characters, we've got great storylines, and it's really cool to show this strong bond that the four girls have with each other.
I liked the mystery and the edge, and the show takes a lot of risks, which I think is really great.
Obviously, Pretty Little Liars centers on a mystery, but you're also learning about these girls and their lives and their families. So I think that young people and adults that watch this really see a life mirrored back to them, very much like the lives that they see around them. All the while, we're just all trying to figure out who A is and what happened to Allison, because I honestly don't even know.
I knew she was keeping something from me. From us.
One of the challenges in an ensemble cast are finding actors who both are their own characters and also complement one another.
We saw hundreds and hundreds of girls, but the challenge was only being patient and waiting until that person walked through the door and they would just sort of embody that character. And it happened with each one of the Pretty Little Liars.
I really liked Aria, like immediately. Loved Aria because, she's similar to myself, but I also read for Hannah just because she's super sarcastic. She's like the comedic relief, just like kind of out of her mind.
Of course it was a joke.
Ultimately, I was more of an Aria, and Ashley is a brilliant Hannah.
With Hannah, we were looking for someone who embodied sort of that feeling of the it girl, the girl who's like the top of the A-list, but that yet you wouldn't hate her, you would love her, and she could still be vulnerable.
I relate to Hannah in a lot of ways because I can totally get into that feel of what it's like to be left out and to try and be in the in crowd.
With Spencer, we very much wanted an actress who just sort of embodied the confidence that Spencer has.
Spencer is supposed to look a certain way, but they didn't need me to fit that for the audition process. And so I just went in and I had a total blast in the audition.
She just blew us away. We knew, like, that was our Spencer. And then last is Emily. And Shay has just sort of got this great energy.
My manager sent me the script and the background for Spencer originally. And then I read Emily's background, and immediately I was like, this fits. I mean, I used to be a swimmer. I really understood this character.
She just felt like an Emily in so many ways. And she's a very spiritual person.
They cast us because they thought we were the characters, so they sort of let us run with it, which I thought was awesome. And a lot of people were upset that we didn't exactly look like the girls that were described in the books, but I feel like the personalities were still there, which was most important.
The audition process started probably October of 2009. I remember getting there and seeing all of these guys, and a lot of them literally looked like they could have been my brother or something. Like, I was looking around in this room and I was like, wow, I'm the ugliest guy in this room. And I knew that I had such a slim chance of getting it, and I think at that point I was just very open to the fact that I'm just gonna go in, do my thing, I'm just gonna play around, and hopefully something comes of it. Well, we went through the first read and basically said, yeah, let's call you back in for the producers and everything. And then they said, we're gonna do a chemistry read with Lucy Hale. And basically we were just kind of flirting. And apparently that's chemistry. And then a month later I was in Vancouver with all these wonderful people. I'd like to know more about you.
I'd like to know more about you too.
We shot the pilot in Vancouver during a very cold, rainy winter, and we were pretending it was summer in Rosewood. There were scenes they were doing when it was literally snowing outside. We had a tent put over them so the snow wouldn't be falling on them, and they're wearing bikinis. You can't see that from the knees down there in Ugg boots, and it was literally snowing on that day. We were sitting there all in parkas, like so bundled up, and they were just such troopers. So the girls got to know each other very quickly. Just being together and being in sort of a very harsh climate setting helps you become a family really quickly.
I think the chemistry between all of us girls came very naturally.
We met each other at the reading in LA. But the first time that we really hung out was in Canada. And we had this Thanksgiving dinner away from home.
And I remember that dinner, and it was like we'd been friends for years. It was really, really amazing.
We'd known each other 2 days, and we had to shoot all this stuff where we had known each other for years, and I just feel like it was something really special happened. You know, the stars aligned and brought us all together, and we just all clicked.
It was really fun. I think that the bond has grown so much from then to now, and we have this great friendship on and off screen, which is really nice, and it shows. I mean, the producers and the directors always say it's so crazy how our chemistry is, but you know, we just really have a love for each other, and you know, going through this whole experience together is really cool too. It's brought us a lot closer.
Chemistry is such a weird thing. It's like lightning in a bottle. You can't manufacture it. You can only try to capture it, and if it's there, it's there. If it's not, you're in trouble. And we've been really lucky that we have a big group of people that really gel and really want to be here and really want to make something that you want to watch. We are officially home.
We met Sarah for the first time after the pilot. We met her in New York.
It was really exciting because I had just seen the pilot, and so I kind of knew all of them, and I knew which characters they were playing, and I thought they did a great job playing the characters.
And we had a big dinner with her, and she just kind of told us how she got the idea for the books, and that each character is something that she went through. So a lot of things are very personal to her, which is really awesome.
These were the girls playing these characters that I had made up and that I had lived with for 5 years at that point. And it was this really great experience.
And that was really amazing because we got to talk to her and kind of see her view and her take on each of the characters, which was really neat.
She was just so complimentary of our work, and she says that we completely like captured the essence of each of the girls, which was like such a huge compliment.
I couldn't ask for better girls playing the characters. I actually had a part. I had a tiny cameo part on the show.
We were looking for a role for Sarah Shepard. We thought it'd be great to have her do something. So we thought a teacher would be wonderful.
I was looking for Mr. Fitz. He's not in. I miss Miss Shepard.
It was this wonderful experience. I had never been to a set before. I didn't know what to expect, and it was so much fun.
Do you know if Mr. Fitz will be back tomorrow?